Well, today I'm really excited to talk to you about our new HEPA 700 with Command Hub performance. So the Command Hub is designed to connect both Bluetooth and Wi-Fi, and it's also designed to connect to some of the leading job software platforms in the industry, not to mention our very own Command Center Pro app and dashboard. So let's get started. The first thing you're going to notice is we've increased the size of the intake to a 14-inch versus the old HEPA 500 12-inch. So I'm going to go ahead and take this apart, show you some of the filters inside and some of the advancements that we've made. So first things first, I'm going to get the cord removed. So go ahead and unwind the cord. And just an interesting fact, the cord was designed to wrap perfectly around the lid 7 times. The lid is a twist and lock, and simply access the filter. There's 4 clamps, which allows you to remove the cover. And one of the things I like about this is when the lid is in place, after the completion of a job, take off the cover. You'll notice that it's a 2-inch filter. I can take and set this down into a trash bag. And because I've got the lid on there, I'm gonna have all of the dust plume connected between the lid and the filter. So I'm not gonna be breathing that dust. And simply pull out the filter and drop it in the trash can. The other thing you're gonna find is we've gone to a new style HEPA filter. So out of the box, this machine is DOP compliant. On the HEPA 500, you had to add that extra 2-inch DOP filter. So if you were working in a government building or a hospital, you had to put the extra filter in order for it to pass the first pass inspection. So again, out of the box, DOP compliant. We're also using a synthetic media, which is a little bit more durable and robust than the typical fiberglass media that's used in the industry today. One of the things I want to point out is the center of this machine has a concave to it. So it really equalizes the pressure as the fan is drawing in whatever particulate in the space. So we get good, even penetration into the filter. So you'll note the gasket all the way around the filter seats perfectly within the housing itself, giving us an air leak, airproof design. So there is no bypass taking place. So as the fan is drawing air all the way around this concaved area, we're getting good equal pressure. The particulate is being dispersed across the filter evenly, so you maximize the life of your filter. Not to mention, this is extremely simple to clean. So at the end of each job, you can take it apart, you can disinfect and clean the inside. The other thing that you'll notice is the gasket that runs around the perimeter of this housing, so that when you put the lid on, you'll notice this seats perfectly right up against this gasket to make sure that we don't have any air bypassing through. So the lid will seat on, and then the 4 clamps will close. All right, let me go ahead and remove the lid and put the HEPA filter back in, and I'll show you a few more things. So one of the things you'll note when you go to reinstall the HEPA is there's 3 tabs, and those tabs slide right into 3 little pockets, okay? And then once you've got those inserted, there's 2 tabs back here in the back that pop in place. Now we've ensured all the way around that the rubber gasket is meeting the interior part of the housing, so we don't have any leaking taking place or any bypass. Go ahead and slide the top half on. And again, simply clamp it in place. Now you'll note why it's in this position. There are 4 slots right on top that align perfectly with the feet on the bottom. So you can stack these up nice in the van or in your storage facility, warehouse, etc. Go ahead and turn this up here for you and we'll get a glimpse at the actual Command Hub itself. Let me plug it in, remove the lid. Again, it's a twist lock style. And that opening is 14-inch. On the opposing side, on our discharge side, you'll notice this is 14-inch as well. And we've also put a duct ring in. So you can put ducting on here and move the air out into a desired space. And I'll go ahead and show you the Command Hub and some of its functions. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and turn this on. So power button. And what you'll notice is we've got plus and minus right here on the front of the board. Each one of these bars indicate 40 to 50 CFM increase, all the way up to 700 CFM. So again, you'll see the blue illumination showing me that I'm increasing, and then I can decrease. All right. You'll note on here that there is a good message about the filter, which basically tells you the filter's in good shape. If yellow appears, that tells you that the filter is about 30% remaining. And if red comes up, it's time to replace that filter. All right, so I'll go ahead and shut this off. You'll also notice that there's a GFCI built into this piece of equipment. At 1.5 amps, which is low speed for the HEPA 700, we have the ability to daisy chain up to 8 machines. And then on high, it's 3 amps, so we would actually daisy chain up to 4 machines. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you a couple more features of the command hub. You actually have some very important information. You've got a service feature in here that talks about the filter. You have something that comes up that if there was an error code that popped up on the machine, it would tell you why the error code was illuminated. Your Wi-Fi signal tells you if you have a Wi-Fi signal in the building or not. There's a configuration button, so you can program a language if you're working with employees that might speak Spanish or something. You can actually set this up to a variety of languages. You can set the current time in your market, make sure that the date's accurate, and this is all good for tracking information as the equipment is left on a job. All right, one more important thing to note. The command hub on all of our product, as our developers are continually improving, offering other features, you'll get firmware updates. And I can't stress this enough. The firmware update is a free cost. It doesn't cost the contractor anything. And as it integrates or migrates with our Command Center Pro app, that is all a no-charge service that we're providing to our contractors. So watch for those. As the equipment gets plugged in, if there is a firmware update, it's gonna show up right on the app on the phone. Make sure to download that because it's just gonna help enhance the performance of your equipment.